Hare Krishna. So today we'll be discussing on Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 2, Chapter 6, verse number 5. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. रोमै उद्भिजा जातीनां यही व यज्ञै तु सम्भ्राताः केशा स्माश्रु केशाश्माश्रु नाखानि अस्य शिललोह अभ्र विद्युताम्. Word to word meaning, translation, and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Word to word meaning, Romani, hairs on the body, Udbija, vegetables, Jatinam, of the kingdoms, Yei, by which were either Yagnai, sacrifices, to, but Sambhrata, particularly served, Kesha, hairs on the head, Samshru, facial hair, Nakhani, nails, Asyam, of him, Sila, stones, Loha, iron ores, Abraha, clouds, Vidyutam, electricity. Translation: the hairs on the body are the cause of all vegetation, particularly of those trees which are required as ingredients for sacrifice. The hairs on his head and the face are reservoirs of for the clouds, and the nails are the breeding ground of electricity, stones and iron ores. Purport: the polished nails of the Lord generate electricity, and the clouds rest on his hairs of his head. One can therefore collect all sorts of necessities of life from the persons of the Lord, and therefore the Vedas affirm that everything that is produced is caused by the Lord. The Lord is the supreme cause of all causes. ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनाशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः. श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपः कदा मह्यं ददान्ति स्वपदान्तिकं. वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रेयोतापदकमलं श्रीगुरुं वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणरघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं श्रीकृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् सहगणललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च. हे कृष्णकरुणा सिन्धु दीनबन्धु जगत्पते गोपेशा गोपिका कान्ता श्रीराधा कान्ता नमोस्तुते. तप्तकाञ्चन गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये. वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः. जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधारा श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद. नमो ओम विष्णुपादाय कृष्ण प्रेष्ठाय बुद्धे श्रीमते भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी नित्य नामने नमस्ते सारस्वती देवी गौरवाणी निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाष्टि. Hare Krishna. So today we'll be discussing the fifth verse from chapter 6, canto number 2. So I'll just read out the translation again. Translation: the hairs on his body are the cause of all vegetation, particularly of those trees which are required as ingredients for sacrifice. The hair on his head and face are reservoirs for the cloud, and his nails are the breeding ground of electricity, stones, and iron ores. So, when we read the translation, we can understand what Prabhupada is trying to tell. He is trying to tell as to how everything that we see in this material nature, they're all been given by the Supreme Lord. The source of everything is the Supreme Lord. So here is Srila Prabhupada is writing how all the cause of all vegetation, it is coming from the hairs of the body of the Lord. All the trees that are required, especially those ones, those herbs or anything that is used for performing sacrifice, that is also given by through the body of the Lord. The nails of the Lord, it is producing electricity. The hairs of the Lord is holding the cloud. So everything, each and every part of the Lord is producing some or the other thing that we are seeing in this material world. So we can see as to how the ingredients for the yagna that we perform, that is also coming from the Lord. And that is why it is said that the yagna that we perform, it must the Lord comes in the form of the fire to accept the sacrifice. Why is it? Because all the ingredients that are given is also the all the ingredients that goes in also is being given by the Supreme Lord. So that is why so this is the first thing, that is everything that we see in the material world is being provided by the Supreme Lord. And even when the Supreme Lord is providing all these, when he is providing all these, by providing all this, he does not become incomplete. Even by providing all this, he still remains complete. So, if suppose, for example, the Lord is providing electricity, so when the Lord is providing electricity through his nails, it does not mean that the Lord is short on electricity. He becomes short on some units or something like that. It is not like that. But even if he's providing 100 units of electricity, the Lord still remains complete. So this is the second point that we need to understand from this shloka. And the main thing that Srila Prabhupada is writing is in the last line of the purport, that the line that Srila Prabhupada is writing is, the Lord is the supreme cause of all causes. So, whenever the Lord is providing everything, Srila Prabhupada is telling that Krishna is the supreme cause. That is why Brahmaji, in his Brahma Samhita, the first sloka he starts is, he's telling Ishvara Paramaha Krishnaha Satchit Ananda Vigraha Anadir Adir Govinda Sarva Karana Karanam. So when we are performing Darshanarati every day, this is the first verse in that we sing to the Supreme Lord, stating that he is the Sarva Karana Karanam. So this is a very important line that Srila Prabhupada is mentioning, stating that Krishna is the supreme cause of all causes. So this, if we see this particular line, it is nothing new, right? We have read it from the starting of Bhagavad Gita, and even when we write the Shiksha papers, when we take the Bhakti steps, even in that, the first question they ask is, do you accept Krishna as the Supreme Lord? So, when we and this particular question, it is starting right from the first Shiksha paper. That is our Shraddhavan, till we write Srila Prabhupada's ashraya, until there, the same question is repeated. So, why is it? Because as we progress in our bhakti life, as we take bhakti step forward, our understanding becomes deeper and deeper. Maybe that is why the first time we write the answer to the question, it would be different when you compare it to the when you compare your Shraddhavan answer, that you accept Krishna as the supreme personality of Godhead, when you compare that answer to the answer you have written in Srila Prabhupada's Ashraya, that would be different. So the same question is repeating. Why is that? It is because it is trying to reinstate that Krishna is the supreme, and therefore he is the cause of all causes. So we can see here why Srila Prabhupada is stating it is because when Srila Prabhupada went to the abroad, that is when he went to the United States to preach the message of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu on the instruction of his Guru Maharaj, he came across many scientists and many impersonalists also, and many impersonalists who were telling, there is no God, everything is one. So people were making and impersonalists were stating that Lord does not have a body. But if you see this particular verse, it is going against the Mayavada philosophy. It is breaking the Mayavada philosophy. You can see here, Srila Prabhupada is, specifically mentioning, telling that the hair of the Lord is giving this particular thing that we see in the material world. The nails of the Lord is giving iron ores. The nails of the Lord is giving electricity, stone. The face of the Lord is, the reservoir of the cloud. Why is it mentioned? Srila Prabhupada is trying to break out the philosophy of Mayavada, telling that Lord is not impersonal. Lord has a body. Lord has a form. Because the Lord is having having a body, Lord is having a form, his body is Sachitananda Vigraha, and because he is having the same, you can see the reflection in the material world, that all the jivatmas here have a form. So first, Srila Prabhupada is, we can see how Srila Prabhupada is breaking the Mayavada philosophy. And second thing is, when Srila Prabhupada had been to the Western world, there were many scientists who were telling that this particular entire material world is being created because of chemical fusion. That means this entire whatever you see, it is made up of chemicals. There were certain set of chemicals, and they got combined with oxygen, and therefore all the living entities are being created, and that is how life came. That is what the scientists were telling. But in Srila Prabhupada's book, that is Life Comes from Life, Srila Prabhupada is stating as to how Srila Prabhupada tells that he is ready to give all the chemicals that the scientists want. Prabhupada challenges the scientists, telling that I will give you all the chemicals you want, create life and show. You can't even create a drop of blood, and what are you talking about creating the jivatmas? It is impossible. So what do we understand from this? That is, life comes from life. That is the supreme Lord who is creating the jivatmas, and not a set of chemicals. So, and there were certain other theories they were coming up with. One was this chemical fusion, and second was the Darwin's theory. We all would have heard. There is a particular lecture where Srila Prabhupada speaks about this Darwin's theory, and he tells it is all nonsense. And what does Darwin's theory state? Darwin's theory states that we all have come from monkeys. or we evolved comes from, we have all evolved from apes. So first, that means we all were monkeys, and from monkeys we evolved, and at a stage, and we came and we evolved to a stage where we became humans. So Srila Prabhupada tells, when they asked Srila Prabhupada what does he think about Darwin's theory. So Srila Prabhupada tells, maybe Darwin's father was a monkey, but my father is Brahma. So it is a false thing, right? Brahma is the creator. Why does the law? Why does Srila Prabhupada tell Brahma is my father? Because we are coming in Brahma Madhva Gaudiya Sampradaya, and the entire knowledge of Vedas was given by the Supreme Personality of Godhead Krishna. It was given down to Brahma, and using that knowledge, Brahma created. So that is why Srila Prabhupada tells, Darwin's father may be a monkey, but our father is Brahma. So that is one of the philosophy that we hear from scientists. And now I was hearing to a lecture, and in that Prabhuji was mentioning as to how somebody comes to Loknath Swami Maharaj, and they tell, one of the scientists, they are telling Loknath Swami Maharaj that all this whatever you are stating, it is wrong, that the Supreme Lord is creating, and by the breathing of the Lord the universes are created, then the Lord enters the material universe, then he enters the Jivatma. All that you're stating is wrong. Actually, this entire material universe is created out of amoeba. And then, listening to this, Loknath Swami Maharaj tells that you are able to see amoeba behind the entire creation, but why are you not able to see Vithoba? Vithoba is Lord Vithala. Lord Vithala is nothing but again Krishna. So Loknath Swami Maharaj tells you are able to see amoeba behind the creation and not Vithoba. So that is how blindfolded these scientists are. And they also there is a very popular series in English that is called the Big Bang Theory. We know what is this Big Bang Theory, right? How there was a very big bang, and then all of a sudden the entire material creation was done. See, first we need to understand, in Krishna's creation nothing happens out of by mistake. There was a bang and the universe was created. Krishna does not work like this material people. Why are they thinking like this? Because in the Bhagavad Gita, Srila Prabhupada mentions that any living creature in this material world, they are always bound by the four defects. And one of the most important thing is imperfect senses. And these people are seeing the creation of the Lord through their imperfect senses, and they, come to a conclusion telling that the Lord is also imperfect. But that is wrong. If you see, that is completely wrong. So they are telling whatever. So coming back to the point, they are telling whatever is happening in this material world, it is because of chemicals or because of some or the other theory. But Srila Prabhupada, in this particular verse, he is stating that nothing in this creation is based on some theory or some, by chance. It is is something that has happened by mistake, and entire thing has been created. No, Krishna is creating, Krishna is monitoring everything that is happening, he is maintaining, and he is the ultimate annihilator. So Srila Prabhupada is telling that at the end of the day, Krishna is the cause of everything, be it spiritual world, be it material world, be it anything. Krishna is the ultimate source, and he is the ultimate cause of everything. So, even in the Brahma Samhita, we can see that sometimes when we tell Ishvara, people misunderstand. Telling Ishvara means it is Shiva. People are misunderstanding that it is Shiva. But it is not Shiva. Yeah, that Shiva also, Sundar Prabhu in our Bhakti Shastri class, he was mentioning this, that when you tell Ishvara, they're thinking it is Shiva. Shiva is also controlling, but Shiva has limited control. So he is Ishvara. But Krishna is the ultimate controller. That is why Krishna is not called as Parameshwara. He is the supreme controller. So sometimes people misunderstand this also, and they tell Shiva is the maintainer, Shiva is the creator, Shiva is the supreme. So that is also wrong. And now they tell Brahma is supreme. So, for that to tell Brahma is not supreme, that is why Brahma is stating this. Brahma is stating Ishvara Parama Krishna. That means Krishna is only supreme. I am also not supreme. And whatever knowledge I am getting, it is being given by the Supreme Lord to me. It is not that I have self, you know, I have self-attained the knowledge. I'm self-realized without the mercy of the Supreme Lord. It is not that. It is because of the mercy of the Supreme Lord, Brahma has got this knowledge. And this is the most important thing that we saw, that how Krishna is the supreme of all, and he is the supreme creator, and because of him the material world is maintained. In the one of the recent lectures that we were discussing in our circle, there was a lecture where Srila Prabhupada tells that somebody was stating that everything is being provided by this nature. Whatever you see, the fruits, roots, air, everything has been provided by the nature, is what Srila Prabhupada, they were stating. Srila Prabhupada was telling, they say that everything is being provided by the nature. The oxygen, the trees provide everything, the fruits, roots, everything is being provided by the nature. Therefore, we have to take very good care of the nature. So, Srila Prabhupada is telling, if everything is been provided by the nature, then why is there a scarcity? If nature is able to provide everything, then why is there a limitation? Why is that the nature is able to provide certain set of fruits, for example, mango? You can see mango only in summer season. Why is it? Why can't you see it in rainy season? If there, yeah, then if nature is providing everything, then there should be rain throughout the year. Why is it raining only in a particular year, a particular month in a year? So why is it, if nature is able to provide everything, why is there a scarcity of food? Why are people, dying without food? And in some countries there is too much of heat. People are dying because of too much of heat, and in some countries there is no heat at all, there is always rain. So why is it happening? If nature is able to control, nature is able to provide, why is it happening? So Prabhupada tells all this is a bogus philosophy. Nature does not provide. If nature is able to provide, that is because of Krishna. Because Krishna is providing through nature, they are able to just see that nature is providing. How is nature able to provide? It is because of Krishna's mercy. Because Krishna is sanctioning, there is rain. Because Krishna is sanctioning, there are fruits. If Krishna does not sanction, then even the nature cannot provide anything. So there is an example. The example is, there is a train. Okay, there is a person who is sitting in one of the coach. Say the coach number is S9. He's sitting in that coach, and when the person is sitting in this coach, the coach suddenly shakes. And when you ask the person why is this coach shaking, he'll tell, because why is S9 coach shaking? Because S8 coach shook. So if you keep asking why did S8 shake? Because S7 shook. And then if you keep going back to the reason, then this person will tell, no, the train shook because, why did all the other coaches shake? Because the engine shook. Now, if you ask the person, why did the engine shake? Because there was another person who was showing a green color flag to the driver in the coach, telling that you can start the train. Because the train is about to start, the coach is shaking, the engine is shaking, and because of the shake in the engine, the coach is shaking. Now you can ask, why is that person who told the person who's showing the flag, the green flag, to show that particular flag? So he is receiving message from his superior. So if you see this, what was the thing? The coach shook. Why did the coach shake? Because the engine shook. And why did it shake? Because the driver started. Who told the driver to start? Another person who was showing a flag. And who showed the flag? Because there was a communication from his superior. So, if you trace it back, where do we go? What do we understand this? It may appear that the coach is shaking because of the start of the engine. So, it may appear to us that the nature is providing, but that is not the correct understanding. If you go back, who is providing the nature? The Supreme Lord is providing it, and it is coming in form of the nature. So Krishna is the cause of everything that happens in this material world. Srila Prabhupada in the same lecture he is stating that we are so advanced. We always keep claiming we are advanced, we have this equipment, that equipment. And they have made so many equipments to drill oil from the middle of the ocean, right? They have made so many equipments, and in spite of so much of advancement, why is there a shortage of petrol? Why are people paying such a huge amount of money for petrol? So if it is unlimitedly available and if nature is producing everything, then why is there scarcity of water? Why is there no petrol in spite of having so many equipments? Prabhupada tells that it is because Krishna is not sanctioning. Krishna has to sanction. If Krishna sanctions, then there can be unlimited. You don't have to worry about any scarcity. So that is what we are supposed to understand, that Krishna is the ultimate sanctioner, Krishna is the ultimate supplier, and he is the maintainer. So when we always keep thinking that if I go to job, then I can earn money, then with that money I can run the family. So that is not the case. Krishna is running the family. Krishna, how is that money coming to you? Because Krishna is providing it. Because Krishna has told, okay, this set of money has to come to this person. Because Krishna is providing, you are getting money, and because Krishna is giving you that money, with that money, you are able to run the family. It is not that, I am earning, I am running. No. I know a Vaishnava that that Vaishnava, he he for about 1 year or so, he had no job at all. And that Vaishnava, he was sitting and chanting the holy names of the Lord every single day. He was reading Srimad Bhagavatam, sitting and chanting the holy names of the Lord every single day. And for 1 year, he did not have any source of income. And Krishna maintained him for 1 year. And if you go back to that Vaishnava and ask, he tells, how did you manage for 1 year? He tells, Krishna maintained. And how did he do it? Because he was continuously chanting the holy names of the Lord. He was never worried, how will I survive? What will I do? Nothing. So that understanding is very important. We may keep reading. We are singing it every morning, telling that, Ishvara Parama Krishna Satchitananda Vigraha Anadir Adir Govinda Sarva Karana Karanam. Every single day we are doing it. So we are doing it to come to an understanding that Krishna is the ultimate, you know, provider, ultimate maintainer. And when we keep doing it, sometimes it will happen that Krishna tells in Bhagavad Gita that karta ham iti manyate, that we think we are the doers. To come out of that feeling, the best example is Srila Prabhupada. When they asked Srila Prabhupada, Prabhupada, how did you build this movement? You within such a short span of time, you have constructed 108 temples, initiated so many disciples. The movement is just flourishing. How did you do that? Srila Prabhupada tells, I have not done anything. It is the instruction of my Guru Maharaj that made me do, and all these young boys and young girls in America, they have done a favor to me by joining this movement, and because of their help and by the mercy of my Guru Maharaj. And he tells in one of the lectures that all these young boys and girls of America, they're all been sent by Srila Prabhupada's Guru Maharaj, and because of that he was able to, you know, take build a society like ISKCON. So what is Srila Prabhupada trying to tell? He's trying to tell that he is not the doer. He's, because of his Guru Maharaj's mercy, he was able to do. And who is that Guru? Guru is the representative of the Supreme Lord. So ultimately he is giving that entire you know, whatever entire credit, he is giving it to the Supreme Lord through his Guru. So this is the takeaway, that Krishna is the ultimate maintainer, and until Krishna provides, we cannot, nothing, until Krishna sanctions, nothing in this material world can run. And that is being re-emphasized in these words. So thank you so much. Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. जगत गुरु श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय. पते पावन गुरु महाराज की जय.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. Mataji, very nice class Mataji. Very nice understanding of this verse. ಸೊ ಇವತ್ತು ಸುಗೋಪಿಕಾ ಮಾತಾಜಿಯವರು 2.6.5 ಬಗ್ಗೆ ವರ್ಣಿಸಿದ್ರು. ಅಂಡ್ ಸುಗೋಪಿಕಾ ಮಾತಾಜಿಯವರು ತುಂಬಾ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರು ಈ ವರ್ಸ್ನ. ಸೊ ಇದರ ಒಂದು ಸಾರಾಂಶ ಏನಿದೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ, ಭಗವಂತನ ಕೂದಲು ಏನಿದೆ, ಕೂದಲಿಂದ ನಮಗೆ ತರಕಾರಿಗಳು ಮತ್ತೆ ಸಸ್ಯಗಳು, ಇದರ ಅವರ ಒಂದು ಕೂದಲಿನ ಕಾರಣ, ದೇಹದಲ್ಲಿರುವಂತಹ ಕೂದಲಿಂದ ಸಸ್ಯಗಳು ತರಕಾರಿಗಳು ಬರುತ್ತಿದೆ ಅಂತ. ಮತ್ತೆ ಮರಗಳು ಅದೆಲ್ಲಾನು ಈಗ ಒಂದು ಯಾವುದೇ ಒಂದು ಯಜ್ಞ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕಂದ್ರೆ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಬೇಕಾಗಿರುವಂತ ಸಾಮಗ್ರಿಗಳೆಲ್ಲ ಭಗವಂತನ ದೇಹದಲ್ಲಿರುವಂತಹ ಕೂದಲಿಂದ ಬರ್ತಿದೆ ಅಂತ. ಮತ್ತೆ ಭಗವಂತನ ತಲೆ ಮೇಲೆ ಇರುವಂತಹ ಕೂದಲು ಬಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಮೋಡಗಳು ಅಂತ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ವರ್ಣಿಸಲಾಗಿದೆ. ಮತ್ತೆ ಅವರ ಉಗುರುಗಳಿಂದ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ವಿದ್ಯುತ್ತು ಮತ್ತೆ ಶಿಲಾ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಕಲ್ಲುಗಳು, ಮತ್ತೆ ಈ ಒಂದು ಕಬ್ಬಿಣದ ಕಣಜ ಇರುತ್ತಲ್ಲ, ಗಣಿಗಳು, ಅದೆಲ್ಲನೂ ಉಗಮಿಸಿದೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಸೊ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಈ ಒಂದು ಸೀರೀಸ್ ನಾವು ನೋಡಿದಾಗ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಏನ್ ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ, ಈ ಒಂದು ಸರ್ವ ಕಾರಣಗಳಿಗೂ ಕಾರಣ ಯಾರು? ದೇವೋತ್ತಮ ಪರಮ ಪುರುಷ ಅನ್ನೋದು ನಮ್ಗೆ ಸ್ಪಷ್ಟವಾಗಿ ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಮತ್ತೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಅನ್ಸುತ್ತೆ, ಏನು ಎಲ್ಲಾನು ದೇವ್ರು ಕೊಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾನಲ್ಲ, ಅವ್ನು ಇನ್ಕಂಪ್ಲೀಟ್ ಆಗ್ಬೋದೇನೋ, ಎಲ್ಲಾನು ಖಾಲಿ ಆಗತ್ತೇನೋ ಅಂತ. ಇಲ್ಲ, ಏನ್ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದಾರೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಭಗವಂತ ಬಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಯಾವಾಗ್ಲೂ ಪೂರ್ಣವಾಗಿ ಇರ್ತಾರಂತೆ. ಎಷ್ಟೇ ಕೊಟ್ರು ಸಹ ಅವರು ಪೂರ್ಣವಾಗೇ ಇರ್ತಾರೆ, ಯಾವಾಗ್ಲೂ ಇನ್ಕಂಪ್ಲೀಟ್ ಆಗೋದಿಲ್ಲ ಅನ್ನೋದನ್ನ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ಸೊ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಮತ್ತೆ ಸರ್ವ ಕಾರಣಗಳ ಕಾರಣ ಯಾರು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ದೇವೋತ್ತಮ ಪರಮ ಪುರುಷ ಅನ್ನೋದು ನಮ್ಗೆ ಸ್ಪಷ್ಟವಾಗಿ ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಈಗ ನಾವು ಶಿಕ್ಷಾ ಲೆವೆಲ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲೇನು ಇದು ಒಂದು ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆ ಬರುತ್ತೆ, ದೇವೋತ್ತಮ ಪರಮ ಪುರುಷ ಯಾರು ಅಂದಾಗ ಆ ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಎಲ್ಲಾ ಪೇಪರಲ್ಲೂ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ಆದ್ರೆ ಎಲ್ಲಾ ಪೇಪರಲ್ಲೂ ನಮ್ಮ ಒಂದು ಅಂಡರ್ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡಿಂಗ್ ಬೇರೆ ಬೇರೆ ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಅದು ಯಾಕೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ, ನಮ್ಮ ಒಂದು ತಿಳುವಳಿಕೆ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಆದಷ್ಟು ನಮಗೆ ಆ ದೇವೋತ್ತಮ ಪರಮ ಪುರುಷ ಯಾರು ಅನ್ನೋದು ನಮಗೆ ಸ್ಪಷ್ಟವಾಗಿ ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಅನ್ನೋದನ್ನ ಕ್ಲಿಯರ್ ಆಗಿ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರು. ಈಗ ಪ್ರಭುಪಾದರು ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ, ಈ ಪಾಶ್ಚಾತ್ಯ ದೇಶಕ್ಕೆ ಹೋಗಿ ಈ ಒಂದು ಭಗವಂತ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ, ಭಗವಂತನಿಗೆ ದೇಹ ಇದೆ ಅನ್ನೋದನ್ನ ಅವರು ಹೇಳಿದಾಗ ನಮಗೆ ಶಾಸ್ತ್ರಗಳಲ್ಲೇ ವರ್ಣನೆ ಇದೆ. ಭಗವಂತನ ಈ ಒಂದು ಸೀರೀಸ್ ನೋಡಿದಾಗ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಭಗವಂತನ ಮುಖ ಹೇಗಿದೆ, ಅವರ ಕಣ್ಣು ಹೇಗಿದೆ, ಎಲ್ಲಾ ರೀತಿಯ ಅವರ ದೇಹಗಳ ಅಂಗಗಳ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಎಲ್ಲಾನು ವರ್ಣಿಸಲಾಗಿದೆ. ಆದ್ರೆ ಮಾಯಾವಾದಿಗಳು ಏನ್ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ, ಅವ್ರು ಏನ್ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ, ಭಗವಂತನಿಗೆ ದೇಹನೇ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ದೇಹ ಅನ್ನೋದೇ ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ. ಬಟ್ ಪಿನ್ ಟು ಪಿನ್ ಇನ್ಫಾರ್ಮೇಶನ್ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಶಾಸ್ತ್ರಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಇದೆ ತಾನೆ. ಅದೇ ಪ್ರಭುಪಾದರು ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇರೋದು ಏನಂದ್ರೆ, ಭಗವಂತ ಬಂದು ಸಚ್ಚಿದಾನಂದ ವಿಗ್ರಹ. ಸೊ ಅವ್ರು ಬಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಲಾರ್ಡ್ ಇಸ್ ಹ್ಯಾವಿಂಗ್ ಅ ಬಾಡಿ. ಬಾಡಿ, ದೇವರಿಗೆ ದೇಹ ಅನ್ನೋದು ಇದೆ, ಅವನು ಸಚ್ಚಿದಾನಂದ ವಿಗ್ರಹ ಅಂತ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ನಮ್ಗೆ ಲೈಫ್ ಕಮ್ಸ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ ಲೈಫ್ ಅನ್ನೋ ಬುಕ್ ಇಂದನೂ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಯಾವುದೇ ಕೆಮಿಕಲ್ ಇಂದ, ಆಕ್ಸಿಜನ್ ಇಂದ, ಸೈಂಟಿಸ್ಟ್ ಹೇಳಿದ ಪ್ರಕಾರ ಆ ರೀತಿ ಒಂದು ಕಾಂಬಿನೇಷನ್ ಇಂದ ಈ ದೇಹ ಆಗ್ಲಿ ಏನೇ ಆಗ್ಲಿ ಸೃಷ್ಟಿ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಲ್ಲ. ಆದ್ರೆ ಇದೆಲ್ಲಾನು ಸಹ ಭಗವಂತನ ಸೃಷ್ಟಿಯಿಂದಾನೆ. ಸೊ ಬ್ರಹ್ಮನೇ ಹೇಳ್ತಾನಲ್ಲ, ದೇವೋತ್ತಮ ಪರಮ ಪುರುಷನೇ ಎಲ್ಲದಕ್ಕೂ ಕಾರಣ ಅಂತ. ಸೊ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಮತ್ತೆ ಸರ್ವ ಕಾರಣಗಳಿಗೂ ಕಾರಣ ದೇವೋತ್ತಮ ಪರಮ ಪುರುಷ ಅಂತ. ನಾವು ಸೈಂಟಿಸ್ಟ್ ಏನ್ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ, ಇದು ಕೆಮಿಕಲ್ ಫ್ಯೂಷನ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ಕೊಡ್ತಾರೆ, ಮತ್ತೆ ಡಾಲ್ವಿನ್ಸ್ ಥಿಯರಿ ಏನ್ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ, ಮಂಗನಿಂದ ಮಾನವ ಅಂತೆಲ್ಲ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. ಆದ್ರೆ ಪ್ರಭುಪಾದರು ಏನ್ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ, ಮೋಸ್ಟ್ಲಿ ಡಾಲ್ವಿನ್ ಅವ್ರ ಫಾದರ್, ಅವ್ರ ತಂದೆ ಮಂಗ ಆಗಿರ್ಬೋದು, ಆದ್ರೆ ನನ್ನ ತಂದೆ ಲೈಕ್ ಬ್ರಹ್ಮ ಅಂತ. ಯಾಕೆಂದ್ರೆ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಶಾಸ್ತ್ರಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಎವಿಡೆನ್ಸ್ ಇದೆ, ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಸೃಷ್ಟಿ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದು ಪರಮಾತ್ಮ ದೇವೋತ್ತಮ ಪರಮ ಪುರುಷ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಬ್ರಹ್ಮನ ಸೃಷ್ಟಿ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಬ್ರಹ್ಮನ್ಗೆ ಎಲ್ಲಾನು ವೇದಗಳು ಮತ್ತೆ ಜ್ಞಾನ ಎಲ್ಲ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ ನಂತರ ಆ ಜ್ಞಾನದ ಬೇಸಿಸ್ ಮೇಲೆ ಅವ್ರು ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, ಸೃಷ್ಟಿಯ ಕಾರ್ಯನ ಶುರು ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಸೊ ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ನಾವು ಯಾವುದೇ ಒಂದು ಡಾಲ್ವಿನ್ಸ್ ಥಿಯರಿಯಿಂದ ಆಗ್ಲಿ, ಕೆಮಿಕಲ್ ಫ್ಯೂಷನ್ ಇಂದ ಆಗ್ಲಿ, ಅಥವಾ ಅಮೀಬಾ ಇಂದ ಬಂದಿದ್ದು ಆಗ್ಲಿ, ಆ ರೀತಿ ಯಾವುದೂ ಅಲ್ಲ. ಶಾಸ್ತ್ರಗಳ ಪ್ರಕಾರ ನಮ್ಮ ತಂದೆ ಯಾರಂದ್ರೆ ಬ್ರಹ್ಮನಿಂದ ನಾವೆಲ್ಲ ಬಂದಿರೋದು ಅಂತ. ಸೊ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಬಿಗ್ ಬ್ಯಾಂಗ್ ಥಿಯರಿ ಆಗಿರ್ಬೋದು, ಎಷ್ಟೊಂದು ಸೈಂಟಿಸ್ಟ್ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ, ಬಟ್ ಅದು ಯಾವುದು ಅಲ್ಲ. ಏನಂದ್ರೆ ಈಶ್ವರ, ನಾವು ಯಾವಾಗ್ಲೂ ಅಷ್ಟೇ ನಾವು ಪೂಜೆ ಮಾಡುವಾಗ ಏನ್ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ, ಈಶ್ವರ ಪರಮ ಕೃಷ್ಣ ಸಚ್ಚಿದಾನಂದ ವಿಗ್ರಹ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಲ್ವಾ. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು, ಈಶ್ವರ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಬೇರೆ ಯಾರು ಅಲ್ಲ, ಶಿವ ಅಲ್ಲ. ಈಶ್ವರ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಸುಪ್ರೀಂ ಕಂಟ್ರೋಲ್. ಹೌದು, ಈಶ್ವರ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಶಿವನೂ ಆಗತ್ತೆ, ಬಟ್ ಏನಂದ್ರೆ ಲಿಮಿಟೆಡ್ ಕಂಟ್ರೋಲ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ. ಆದ್ರೆ ಪರಮೇಶ್ವರ ಯಾರು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ದೇವೋತ್ತಮ ಪರಮ ಪುರುಷ, ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ಅವ್ರು ಕಂಪ್ಲೀಟ್ ಫುಲ್ ಆಗಿರ್ತಾರೆ ಅಂತ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ಸೊ ಎಲ್ಲ ಈ ಪ್ರಕೃತಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಏನೇ ಸಿಕ್ಕಿದ್ರು ಸಹ ಅದೆಲ್ಲನೂ ಭಗವಂತನ ಕೃಪೆಯಿಂದ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಸಿಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ ಅನ್ನೋದು ಈ ಒಂದು ಶ್ಲೋಕದಲ್ಲಿ ಸ್ಪಷ್ಟೀಕರಣ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಮತ್ತೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಒಂದು ಅಂಡರ್ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡಿಂಗ್ ಏನಿದೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ, ಭಗವಂತನಿಂದ ವಿ ಶುಡ್ ಅಂಡರ್ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ದಟ್ ವೆರಿ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್, ಲಾರ್ಡ್ ಇಸ್ ದ ಸರ್ವ ಕಾರಣ ಅನ್ನೋದು ನಾವು ಸ್ಪಷ್ಟವಾಗಿ ಅರ್ಥ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋಬೇಕು ಅನ್ನೋದು ನಾ ಸುಗೋಪಿಕಾ ಮಾತಾಜಿ ಅವರು ಈ ಒಂದು ವರ್ಷದಲ್ಲಿ ಇರ್ತೇವೆ. ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಯು ಮಾತಾಜಿ. ಹರಿ ಕೃಷ್ಣ.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Radha Sugopika Mataji, for your nice explanation. The purport is very nice. You have elaborately explained it very well. I also thank Vedagami Mataji for Kannada translation. So the practical understanding of this verse is whatever comes, it is an emanation from the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna. So a tree means remember the Lord's universal body. Rain clouds, we can remember His sustaining mercy, because it is only depending on the will and wish of the Lord. Wherever it requires, He provides. Like Radha Sugopika Mataji was mentioning, one devotee was jobless and he was meditating, he was chanting, but Krishna gave him shelter. At the same time, in another place, they have done a lot of prayers, but there were no rains. So it is the will of the Lord. So like that, we can remember everything. Not even blade of grass moves without the will of the Lord. Like lightning, when there is a lightning, we remember Krishna's inconceivable power, and mountains and minerals, we remember Krishna's strength and his permanence. So this understanding actually transforms one from material consciousness to Krishna consciousness. That's why we are all supposed to read, study, understand, and share the knowledge of Krishna consciousness. And everybody will be enlightened and everybody will be very happy. So here we can also mention that Lord provides the ingredients. Like there is palasa wood and also kusha grass and samidas. Samidas are the small sticks we arrange for the yagnas. They are called fuel sticks. And various herbs and grains, they are all, arranged by the Supreme Lord Krishna only, by His mercy only. Because Lord provides both the object of worship and also ingredients for the worship. And He Himself appears as Archa Vigraha to receive all our services. So foolish people only say Lord does not have the form. But if anybody reads the scriptures, especially Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam, Chaitanya Charitamrita, they will have a perfect understanding. Okay, so thank you very much once again, Radha Sugopika Mataji, for your dedicated service. I also thank Vedika Mataji for Kannada translation. Thank you very much. Grandara Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Anybody would like to add few points on these words? Or should we go for the announcements and prayers to be offered for the day?
Hare Krishna Prabhu. I'd like to add one line, Prabhu. Yesterday I was listening to one lecture. In that, during Narsimha Dev's pastime, he was about to kill he was his intention was to kill Hiranyakashipu. In between, all the demons will come to attack. Only from his nails he generated the electricity, and all the demons were killed just by nails. So this
Yeah,
pastime I remember. Thank you, Prabhu.
yeah, that's nice way of connecting to the words. Is so his nails are, not only electricity, but nails are very sharp and strong. And not only nails, nails are hard and they are also minerals. Therefore, rocks, mountains, minerals, metals, iron or khanijas, everything they are coming from Krishna. That's why we can't simply say Krishna is the Supreme Lord, but how great the Lord is, it's very nicely explained in all these verses. Hare Krishna.